Welcome to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders on 1240 Radio WOMT.
And welcome back to Fine Living right here on 1240 Radio WOMT, presented each and every week by Jim Reif Builders. Good morning, Jim.
Morning, Terry.
How are you, sir?
Pretty good.
Excellent. Jim, we're going to continue on our discussion. Last week, we touched very briefly on selection process, especially when you're building a new home. There's obviously a lot of items that the individual needs to choose, and or even remodeling projects, whether it's a bathroom and things like that. And as I mentioned last week too, I can imagine never building a home myself, but I can imagine the overwhelming stress that could cause on trying to figure out and pick every single item in that home.
Well, that's one of the things we try to make a difference on, Terry, is that if you're feeling overwhelming stress, we're not doing our job right. So I always tell people to call us.
Okay.
Okay. For some reason, if it's stressful, call us, because we have people that can help you, narrow down those decisions. Ultimately, we want it to be yours, but we can maybe give you that A, B, or C and get you dialed in, and you can, pick one or, throw the dart at it or whatever you'd like to do. But we don't want people to be stressed. We want this to be an enjoyable process. I think the key thing to remember in the selections is we want to document and have you sign off as a consumer exactly what you want and get, because we don't want mistakes. So when the construction process starts, when we start putting the framing up and the foundations go in and all the other stuff that goes with construction, whether it's new or remodel, we want it to roll smooth, because if it doesn't, there's hiccups, and then there's delays in the process, and then people are upset. Well, it took a week and a half extra. Well, we changed something. You changed something, and in turn, we had to order a different product, so on and so forth. That comes with that.
Now, if someone does decide to do a change order, is that possible, and or is that something common?
Change orders are common. Most changes we see are minor items. Electrical changes, some plumbing changes, big structural stuff we don't see very often. But yes, it typically comes with a delay. And the consumer should realize here now, that's one thing that, we're out here to help everybody understand, is that products take a long time to get in. Lead times on products are getting to be longer and longer all the time.
Why is that?
Well, the demand is up, and manufacturers have gone from, it's not on the shelf anymore. They only make so many parts at a time, and then they sell those off, and then they make more parts. The inventory just isn't there anymore of any of the places. So that's one of the reasons why it's more on demand. When we order windows, it'll take me 3.5 weeks to get windows. Those windows are not made, and starting to be made. They're starting to be made 4 days after I place the order.
Really?
That's when the manufacturing process starts. That's when they'll start doing it. Now, it's on time delivery of manufacturing processes. So the glass isn't even made when I order the window. When the order gets placed, that's when the order goes to the glass manufacturer to cut the glass for that particular window.
And I think it's important to know, too, for consumers, that a lot of that stuff is out of your control at Jim Reif Builders. And so, if there's delays in the manufacturing or back orders and things like that, unfortunately, there's only so much that you can do, and a lot of this is out of your control.
It doesn't happen real often, but it does happen occasionally. Again, we kind of have an idea of how long things will take to get. We work hard to get all these things itemized and documented and make sure the consumer's getting what they want. And then we can order, and then we don't see delays if everything flows like it's supposed to.
Besides windows, what other selections are things that people need to make a decision on?
Well, with the windows, there's window grids, there's the hardware, the crank color, the latch color, all those things. There's fireplace information we got to gather, and of course the fireplaces are all changing. Now you see stones inside of the fireplaces instead of logs, so that's all changing. Shower doors, the hinge color on the doors, and the stain and paint colors, the railing or molding parts, and so it's endless. I have a booklet here that's got 20-some pages of information we collect for a project. So it's really interesting, but it's important. And again, we want to, get through this.
And I think, it's important to understand that, yes, this is going to take time, and it's going to take, it's very detailed. Like I said, it's a huge pamphlet here. But it's especially building a new home or a big remodeling project. It's one of, if not the biggest investment that you're going to make. And you want to make sure that it is exactly what you want and something that is going to last a long time.
That's correct. Very, very well put.
Jim, a lot of great information. If individuals are out there and they're looking at building a new home or they're looking at doing a remodeling project, now's a good time to start getting a hold of you guys. And how can they get a hold of you?
They can reach us at the web at jimreifbuilders.com and check out our new website. It really looks nice. They can reach us on Facebook, and they can also call us at 684-6899, and we're glad to help them.
Jim, a lot of great information. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders, the leader in new construction and remodeling here on the Lakeshore. Let their vision enrich your lifestyle. Tune in again next week for another episode of Fine Living on 1240 Radio, WOMT. To learn more, visit jimreifbuilders.com.